スリッピン、スリッピン、スリッピン。
Thank you for the resubs.
廃止の5月
Okay,
ディ
wait,
スラ
back
スト
up.
ストリーム LOL しようでてへ。
Back up a little bit. Okay, first of all, I want to say that thanks for lurking. I changed some of my mic settings, so can you guys let me know if it sounds different, if it sounds bad? Let me know what you think, okay? I tweaked some of the settings today. I wanted it to be different. Oh, I wanted to try something different. Sounds fine to you? Good too. Except I have no thumb. Good, no thumb. Thank you to Santoro, today's true fan. Thank you so much for arriving to the stream before anyone else and clicking the button before anyone else. Appreciate it, my guy. Happy, 12 days since your birthday? 13 days since your birthday, maybe? Perhaps? Okay, so here's, thanks for the resubs to Fowlis, and thank you, Zali. Hello, Dingba. Thanks for showing up. You waited 5 seconds. Don't say that. Don't say that. Alright, so news. My live to the artist said that she finished the body. She actually showed me, but I can't show it on stream because it's the body base, so it's not wearing any clothes. And I don't want to get in trouble on Twitch. She's naked. I mean, she doesn't have genitals, but I expect that you still... Can you show a Barbie doll looking ass body on Twitch? Is that still okay? I mean, she's got like the shape of a breast. It just doesn't have a nipple on it. Yeah, that's just what I'm saying. So no, unfortunately, I cannot show you. But she finished the body. One thing she said was, she asked me, do you want toes on the body? And I said, I thought you liked feet. She said, where did you get that idea from? I thought she liked feet. Apparently I was mistaken. It might be thighs. It might actually be thighs, not feet. But body painting or whatever it is allowed. Okay, yeah. Anyway, it turns out she does not like feet. So I said, it's up to you. You know, if I were to get any outfits, I would probably ask you. She said the toes are a pain to model, so it does not have feet. Or it has feet, but it doesn't have toes. No, there are feet, sorry. It has feet, but no toes. You've seen artists show that kind of thing on stream with no issues, but you don't trust Twitch to consistently enforce the rules. Yeah, I figure, I mean, personally, I think she looks really naked. And there are like, it looks like she added some shading on the buttocks. So she's very naked. She's extremely naked. Okay, so the other, I'm not really sure. She actually, like I said, she actually didn't want to charge me for this, which I thought was a mistake. She should definitely charge me for her work. But yeah, she just seems to be working on it for fun. So like, I'm stoked, I guess. You know, I wasn't expecting her to start working on it because we only talked about it briefly. We were like, I was like, yeah, I'm not super happy with how the model turned out. And she was, yeah, how generous. She's doing it for fun. She actually gave me a model for free once. Remember the second chibi model? She did that kind of for free. I think she just found it fun. So, but yeah, I said definitely charge me for this. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. She's like busy on and off with other commissions. I guess this is, I don't know if this counts as a commission. Maybe it counts as a commission, but yeah, she's busy. The one with 1,000 emotes. Yeah. I guess she just wanted to make it. I never ended up setting it up. I really should get around to setting up. You're fairly new, so you did not know that. No, yeah, it's all right. Yeah, I guess she just does it for fun, but she's busy on and off with other commissions. So I told her, you know, it's not like there's a deadline. You just work on it whenever you feel like it, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm okay with using this one for now, as long as you don't look at it from the wrong angle. Everything looks fine. Just don't look at it from here or there. If you look at it from straight on, everything is a-okay. Am I slightly off now? No, I'm good. Okay. So yesterday I had another blood test. The good news is that they didn't find anything wrong with me. The bad news is that they still don't know what's wrong with me. So I don't know, I might go back to the doctor soon. I haven't done that yet, but all of the tests that she ordered came back fine, except that I was very mildly anemic. But I don't think that being mildly anemic is enough to make me feel this bad. So yeah, so that's going on. And I have an ultrasound next week. Yeah. Hi Maple. Hello. And then one last thing that I wanted to complain about was I was looking at, you remember the 3D modelers, the really fancy ones who looked at my application and decided that I was too ugly? I mean, they didn't use those words, but that's probably what happened. I saw that anemic. Shino, have I been eating liver? Liver is yummy, but I don't have it that often. No, I've been taking iron pills. Good luck with that. Thank you. Your luck is appreciated. I will treasure it. I was looking at mild anemia. Which one? Which one? Oh, are there different kinds? I had, fuck, I don't even remember. Hold on, let me look at my, let me look at my health thing. Sign in. Oh, hey, you can see my hands. I'm using my smartphone. You can see. It says here, my hemoglobin was low. Does that sound right? My hemoglobin was 11 point something G per DL. Hemoglobin, that's right. My hemoglobin wasn't evil enough. You don't know what that means. My blood not enough oxygen, right? Yeah, low oxygen in the blood. It could be a lot of different reasons anyway. You should learn more about biology. Hey, you know, if you're not a doctor, it's not a big deal. Not enough goblins, that's right. I've only got 2. I need more. Yeah, so I was looking at the 3D modeler who rejected me, and she made this ugly ass model. She made this model which I think is ugly. And then I was scrolling down her feed and looking at all these VTuber like debut announcements and stuff. And then I got really triggered for some reason. I think I get triggered very easily. I think you guys would probably agree with that as well. But it's all just people going like this. And like doing this, peeking out, and then going... It's also fucking fake! You know that I'm doing this. Hey everyone, come to my VTuber debut. You know, it's fucking fake as shit. I think I hate being a VTuber. Sorry, I'm not sure where that came from. I think I was just triggered. Yeah, where's the, you know, whacha, something a little bit more dynamic, you know? You think normal is around 12 to 15, so I was maybe a bit outside the normal range. Yeah, so the thing is that obviously with women who can menstruate, it can vary, I guess. So I think that given that I wasn't at the time that they took the test and I was on the low side, then I was thinking maybe it's possible that when it's my time of the month, I could get more anemic. I do think that's entirely possible because I have like endometriosis and all these other conditions that could make things worse. So I was like trying to figure things out my own, but I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, making it all up. I really seem to dislike the fake personalities people use online. I mean, yeah, don't you? You don't? You don't? You love them? I don't love them. I don't like fake shit. I'm looking at a video right now that's like this. Whatever. You have a blood condition like that, but taking iron is a bad thing for you. Why? Did it make you really sick? Oh no. I started taking iron supplements, but maybe it's a bad idea. The naivety of excitement you chalk it up to. Like people acting fake or what? TIL, many personal details of Shino. Oh, I talk about this a decent amount, so yeah. Don't get endometriosis, it sucks. My personal recommendation for you guys, don't get it, it sucks. None of them tried to hide under the screen. Is that outdated? Yeah, they do. They also do the second word you heard after the page loaded was menstruate. Sorry for that. Kung Fu VTuber you see. That's fake though, because I don't know how to do Kung Fu, so maybe I'm fake too. Iron makes you sick? Can you eat steak? You have no love or hate for it. Okay, that's fair. I think it would be better for me if... Isn't anemia iron deficiency? I thought that you could help anemia by taking an iron supplement. Don't apologize, it keeps the kids out. Yeah, you're right. What else grosses out kids? I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Taxes? 401k. I don't know. It also keeps some cringe lords out. True, also true. You get your goblin measured when you donate blood, and it has to be between, or it has to be above 13.5 in order for you to be allowed to donate. Oh, interesting. Yeah, the last time I donated blood, which is a long time ago, I'm not allowed to donate blood anymore because I keep passing out. I almost passed out. Last time I donated blood, and then they looked at me and they were like, holy shit, she looks dead. Apparently I was like really pale And then they gave me some Milo and chocolate, and then I was allowed to rest for a while. You know someone who has to take iron pills a day before donating? Maybe they shouldn't donate? It sounds a little bit dangerous. You're not allowed to donate blood for the same thing. I see. You and me. I see. Lots of things you eat make you a little sick. Just power through it. I forgot what we were talking about. Iron? Can gay people donate blood now, or is that still banned? I don't know, actually. I don't know. Don't they test the blood? I don't understand why they're banned. As long as, if you have to test the blood anyway, then why is it banned? I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Nope, she shouldn't, but does anyway. Oh, I see. The person who takes iron pills before donating. Well, if she's strong enough to handle it, I guess it's not a bad thing. Donating blood is good. I used to donate blood pretty regularly until they told me to stop. Minimizes false negatives. I see. Good old-fashioned discrimination. It was banned because of homophobia under the excuse of AIDS. I know that, but like, I'm saying now you can just test for it, right? So why don't they just allow it? I don't get that. It's not like they just mix it all together, right? You're not allowed to donate because of the medicines you take. Oh, interesting. I see. I see. Okay. What did you guys want to do today? I asked in Discord, but only Alzora responded, and Alzora said, oh wait, you donate blood because you get 1 day of PTO per donation. Oh, that's poggers. I would donate blood if I could for 1 day of PTO. The only person who answered what we should do today was Alzora, and he said that we should play Ace Attorney. Who wants to play Ace Attorney? Anyone? Alzora only? Alzora, you should have brought a gang with you. Anyone? I asked in the I sure fucking did. Where? In the Discord. I've only got like what, 15 channels. It's not like one of those servers that has too many channels. Your gang? Hi Jericho. Always good to be a detective. I'm a lawyer. I'm not a detective. I'm a lawyer. Sorry. You don't know if they're allowed, but laws have a tendency to stick around once implemented because of organizational inertia, even if there's no inherent discrimination intended. Well, in this case, I think there was some discrimination intended, but you don't feel strongly about what to do. That's why you didn't vote. Oh, okay. Yes, more Ace. You don't mind finishing the case. You were a bit curious about the end of the case. TBH, I don't remember what we were doing in the case, so combine that with conservatives opposing removing laws like that. Oh, hey, thanks for the follow. Voidless WD. Can you explain your name to us? Is it like WD-40? Or is it short for something? That's why you always support sunsetting laws. Interesting. Vampire Survivors demo. Speaking of that, Chono actually bought me Vampire Survivors. He actually... You do want to know who stabbed the fat lady? Okay, you're up for courtroom trouble? Okay. Alright. You're not in the US, so you don't know about that place? What place? Vampire Survivors? Sorry, I lost a train of our thoughts here. Oh, you just mean the US in general? If I'm not feeling it, vampires also sound good. Hi, German. Oh, you meant the law stuff. No, it sounds like everyone is curious to know what happens with the lawyers, so I don't mind finishing out the case. How much longer do you think is in it? Because I don't feel very strong today. I do continue to feel weak and bad, lame and shitty. Hot garbage fire, hot garbage dumpster fire. I wish that Rue was streaming so that I didn't have to stream and I could just watch her instead, but she is not. So okay, let me see. Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Play. Let me pull it up. Gonna admit you have almost 200 hours in Vampire Survivors somehow. That's rough, buddy. Thanks. I think you wanted the name Voidless, but somebody already took it and the WD means Wolf Dragon? Are you joking? Okay, no, I shouldn't say that. Damn, you only got 102 hours. Hi, Hammy. So hard to say about 1 to 2 hours. Want you to take a look at a playthrough? No, you're good. You don't have to do that. Wasn't she gonna try the Gundam stuff again? I thought she was gonna play more Soma. Maybe tomorrow? I don't remember what she put on her event. She needs to finish her moving. By the way, it totally sucks that didn't they cancel the Gundam thing? Yeah, so I don't think she's going to do the Gundam thing. Their servers are potato powered. That's right. The fuck was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? Look, you see, my brain doesn't work so good when I'm feeling like this. I've definitely been feeling very slow and just not great overall. I can't think of the words I want to use. I've been asking Rose, like, is this what a degenerative brain disease feels like? Because brain fog, I guess, yeah. I don't know. It kicked in, like, maybe, remember when I started talking about being really tired all the time about a month ago? It's been about that long. It sucks. It happens to you all the time. I don't know. I mean, it's common to forget maybe your train of thought or not be able to think of what kind of word you want to use. Degenerative brain diseases are scary. They are scary. That's why I don't want one. I definitely do not want one. Diet or habit change. No, but I did have, I suspect some kind of viral infection. Because remember I had that cough for a while and I felt really sick. And then they kept testing me for COVID, but I didn't have COVID. And then after the cough cleared up, I got this fatigue and I haven't kicked it. I don't know, I think I'm fucking dying. Oh, and then they found some growths in me. I forgot about that. But it's probably fine. You've been sitting in a perpetual brain fog for a month and a half now. Shit sucks. Wait, you too? What do you have? Do you also have endometriosis? Are they benign? Almost certainly. Almost certainly. Yeah, so don't worry about it. But I mean, it's still... Let me just say that even though they were benign, it was still very disconcerting to read on a piece of paper that I had a growth that was 2 cubic centimeters in one place, and then another one that's like 3 cubic centimeters in another place. Even if it's benign, you still don't want to read that, right? It's like, ugh. Any allergy problems? I want to say no. I really don't think anything has changed in just regular anxiety about this stuff, you know. I got you. I get you. Yeah, I get you. I think Santoro also gets you. Yeah. I won't go into it for in very much detail, but it's just an alien growing on me. It's fine. Shut up. Shut up. Shut up. Be quiet. I won't talk about it in any amount of detail, but reading about the atrocities, I couldn't sleep for like 3 nights. It was... Yep. Okay, anyway. You're just coming out of a brain fog, you quit taking a med. Oh, do you feel better? I hope so. You feel a lot better since you only check the news 4 to 5 times a day. Santoro, 4 to 5 times a day. It's still a lot, dude. I try to read the news like once a day. Otherwise, I spend the whole time like feeling bad. Yeah. The mythological name for it is Volga lupus draconis. Mythological name for it being like which mythology exactly? Whose mythology? Don't worry, Shino. It just sounds like I'm turning into a dragon. Maybe. You had some intense anxiety build up last night for the first time in a long time, so that was exciting. Are you alright? I hope you're feeling better. Hi, fat boy. The news just hurts now. You are no longer betting that next year will be better. Anyway. Sounds like furry mythology. News are the worst, so much fear mongering, but you feel it's important to be aware of stuff. Yeah, I agree. I definitely try not to look at social media because that's where you get the most like emotion stuff and like the least fact stuff. Yeah, I try to only read a couple of let's say reputable sources. Yeah. The other day you were reading stuff about D&D, you found the Salt Dragon, so look forward to that. The Salt Dragon. Hey, speaking of D&D, are you guys into D&D? Would you guys want to watch like a VTuber's doing a campaign, or so like I have never played a D&D campaign, but I would like to maybe one day. And I know that Rose is super into D&D, and Rose has always wanted to run a campaign. Your good plainly identified trigger, numbing Benadryl to the rescue. Okay, numbing Benadryl. Benadryl knocks me the fuck out, dude. Benadryl is what you call instant sleepy time. You've been thinking about playing one of these days. It sounds interesting. I think so. You think it'd be interesting? You cut your news down to the front page of Google News. My Google News feed is full of garbage. Recently, I've been getting a lot of German articles, and I don't speak fucking German. I've been getting a lot of German videos on YouTube too. Cass suggested that someone has been going on our Wi-Fi and poisoning our whatever Google accounts. I don't know. Your neck beard is too thick to play D&D. You play GURPS. What the fuck is GURPS? Goblins Underground role-playing strategy. What the fuck is GURPS? GURPS? I've literally never heard of that. You never did or watched D&D, but you are curious. There's some really, it started getting like really big and mainstream with the big shows, right? Like Critical Role and stuff like that. So every time you look it up, it only says it's dated back to medieval times and nothing's really known about it. I see, interesting. Sprechen Sie Deutsche? Sorry. Ignore me. Speaking of D&D, your DM's neighbor's apartment blew up a couple of days ago. So that, what the fuck are you talking about? It blew up? How? You live on Benadryl, the only thing that works for you? What do you mean you live on Benadryl? You drink it? Like as a soda? You're getting so many ads for some Middle Eastern language and Duolingo lately, no idea what it is. Oh, cool. Why don't you take some pictures and show us? I'm sure somebody can identify it. GURPS is old. Generic Universal Role-Playing System. What is that? There was this one tabletop game that involves rolling for anal circumference. You think it was called Fate or something? Fatal Hammy? Wait, he wasn't making it up. What? What? Only played some D&D based video games, but never an actual roleplay. Yeah, me too. I played like a little bit of what's that game? The something starts with D, and it has 2 in it. What is it called? It's not Destiny. It's what's it called? What is that game? Fuck. Hold on. Let me look at my Steam library. RPG. Divinity. Yeah, I played a little bit of that. It blew up because of a... What? That neighbor died? Holy shit, I'm sorry to hear that. That is, that's intense. That sucks. Okay. Yeah, that's rough. If I haven't done D&D, I don't want to be bogged down by excessive rules at the start. There are some really good, more loose tabletop alternatives. Rose is familiar with the system, so I think if Rose is running the campaign, I wouldn't be too worried about it. So like, Rose once suggested that we do a VTuber campaign thing, and then I was like, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. I was like, I don't wanna. I said, well, the reason why I said that was because I was thinking that if I ever did D&D with Rose, I would want us to have characters who are boyfriends, and then they should be boning, right? And then I was like, I don't want to be my VTuber because then I have to pretend and be a VTuber, and that shit sucks, you know? I just want to play with you. But then I was like, I'm being stupid. We should just do it. So Fatal is real. You're allergic to nature. You try not to take Benadryl constantly. I see. It is very effective. It also knocks me out though, so. You prefer GURPS because the system has less baked-in assumptions about the world building, and also because the combat is a lot better than D&D. Don't look at Fatal. It's really gross. Fatal is so sexist that it makes even sexist people uncomfortable. Okay, now I want to look it up. Why would you say something like that? Fatal D&D? Fantasy adventure to adult lechery. Fatal is known for its graphic, violent, and sexual content, as well as the complexity of the underlying game system involving high-level mathematics and an unusual amount of randomization and character development. It acquired a strongly negative reputation in the tabletop role-playing community, being universally panned and described as one of the most controversial games ever released. It is particularly known as the subject of a 2003 review published in RPGnet, which described it as a Necronomicon of role-playing games, in addition to fundamentally broken in its attitude towards sexuality and characterized by bitter misogyny. What? What? Sex and sexuality is a heavy focus of the fatal system. While extensive rules and mechanics for rape are established, consensual sex is not mentioned at any point in the game. The rules for rape are also incorporated into the section on combat more generally. A design decision that drew criticism for an apparent normalization of sexual violence. What the fuck? Extreme sexual content is frequently used for shock value, such as magical items which induce forced masturbation or bestiality. What? Why? The available spells are also often eclectic, obscene, or peripheral in use, such as Force Fart and Bestow Ulcer. You can give someone an ulcer? The fuck? Okay. There's a theme song?
It's the best role-playing game that there could be. There is the adventure to adult luxury. Halo is the only game that has debauchery. There is the adventure to adult luxury.
That was the theme song, guys. Okay. Alright. Well, anyway. What were we talking about? The music is trash too. Sounds like it would be fun to play for the sole purpose of how much you can make fun of the game. It sounds like even the game itself is not fun. You've heard about this game from some other D&D players. You mean it's pretty gross, but it's also incredibly unplayable. Rape aside, the system is just trash. Also, the old TMNT is also really weird and not as bad as Fatal, but you wouldn't recommend looking into that either. Finally, a game even D&D nerds can call cringe. Yeah, here, this is like a lot of fun. You guys can read this on your own time. Sorry, I was reading the wiki again. It says here, for example, the theme song described by McLennan as sounding like the Cookie Monster chasing a drum kit being pushed down a flight of stairs. That's a pretty good description of what we just listened to. Jesus. What the fuck? Okay. Let's play the game. You guys ready? I'm done looking at the Fatal stream. Where you at? Rose, where you at? No! Sounds like a shortcut to getting banned on Twitch. Okay, so one of the creators of the game took credit for a number of the game's most infamous aspects, such as the anal circumference tables, and the majority of the player races, such as the Kinderfresser ogre, a species of ogre that exclusively eats virginal human children. What? Okay. Enough. I'm closing it. Let's go over here. Enough! I'm done. Man. It sounds like maybe it could have been... You're gonna bet that they made the insane rules and stuff for publicity. If you read the wiki though, it kind of sounds like they were taking it seriously. They seem like... The responses to the bad reviews of the game don't seem to be like meme responses. They seem to be like genuinely upset that their game was panned. And then again, it's hard to tell, I guess. That could be the meme, you know, that could be the joke, I guess. That game is the epitome of incel culture. It sounds a little bit like it. Not even 4chan likes Fatal. The more seriously you take it, the more publicity you get. True. Emily, you are white. You are white. Right? You are right. Okay. Does anybody remember where the fuck we were in this game? It's been like a week maybe? So I don't remember a single thing about what we were doing. Natsume Soseki, that's right. We were helping him, right? Am I making that up? I think we were helping him. Even people who want to play that kind of game with rape, slavery, and misogyny won't play Fatal. I see. I found the burnt book and I accused the soldier as the owner. Ah, yeah. Don't worry, someone in chat will remember for me, but not you. He's having a lovely weekend of his not dead boyfriend. I'm afraid the boyfriend is still dead. Oh wait, we got to do the summation examination again, right? Fuck, we have to do a second one? You're kidding me. And I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. Oh. Can we just lose the case already? Thanks for the follow, Cernuki? Sorry if I said your name wrong. Okay. So, counsel, you will now proceed. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman. We are, my lord. Gonna admit you have no idea what's going on right now. It's been a while. I can't remember either. I guess we'll find out. Okay. The grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. Let's fucking go. Okay. Honestly, he sounds guilty as fuck. I don't know why I'm defending someone who obviously seems guilty. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. If there were some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? I'm doing that thing where I convince the jury that they're stupid, yes. Deary me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring home some pay tonight, I'll be in a tidy bit of trouble. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes. Good thing Mino's not here, because every time we do this jury summation examination thing, the jury looks stupid as fuck. It's Mrs. Buttface, you missed her. I like her jiggly cheeks. Alright. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. At least he's not calling me Nipponese anymore. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene, and moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. Finally, a second good use for jiggle physics. What's the first good use? It's for making testicles bounce, right? I fail to see how it can be argued any other way. That means I'm afraid that during the summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here? Ears! You're right. Isn't it obvious? Hey, you know what I was thinking? I was thinking that maybe I should draw Shino with all kinds of different ears and hair wiggles. Hair jiggles, I see. I was thinking I should draw Shino with all kinds of different ears. Are you guys attached to this ear format? Can we call it that? Ear format? Are you guys a fan of the hair laughs? I thought I was gonna say Shino with balls. No, I'm not gonna draw Shino with testicles. I'm gonna... Do you like the down ears? What if I tweaked the down ear shape? What if the shape of the down ear was so slightly different? Still good? What if we had up ears? What if we had up ears like a regular fox? What if we have cat ears? You like the side ears more than top ears? Doesn't matter to you. The ears are cute. You like them. You are a fan of the ears, but you're curious to see what happens. I just wanted to draw it and then see whether, you know, something different might jiggle your testicles. I don't know. As long as they're attached to the sides. So no top ears. So the ears can come out the top. Or the ears can be top ears as long as they come out the sides? Okay, anyway, I'll have to draw it and see. I don't know. Who stabbed the woman and how? These 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted. Rabbit Shino? Actually, when I was first designing this character, the ears that I used were rabbit ears because there weren't any other floppy ears. There's obviously no floppy ears like this for cats. Maybe for dogs, but even then you don't really get this ear shape. So... yeah, when I was designing them in like Picru and stuff, I had to use Usagi no. I had to use rabbit ears. And there I was thinking this might be hard. I have to do it. Okay, let's do it. Kate. Yep. Stop wasting time. This guy. Somebody put a stick up his ass. Is going to be juror number 4, the maid, or should I say Mrs. Gerdeb? We have a book that disappeared from the Gerdeb's house on the evening of the incident, and the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find, using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes. Don't forget to blah 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 blah. You see, if you look at the ratio of skull size to ear size in, for example, a real fox and compare it to a fox squirrel, you will see that the real fox has a much larger ratio. Okay, where's this going? Where are you going with this? Insert image of a fennec fox here. Yes. Yeah, actually my ears are closest, I think, to a fennec fox's, but they come out the sides. Didn't I find a bunch of evidence against Juror 1 last time? We have to do it all over again. Okay, so it sounds as though Mrs. Gerdeb is going to react to stuff that people say. So let's pay attention. Okay, press. Well, obviously a realistic fox VTuber should have ears bigger than her head. Bigger than her head. Why bigger than her head? I do agree that the ears are somewhat small usually. Press.
Hold it!
But as we now know, there were 4 books, not 3. Well, what difference does it make? There's every possibility that the 4th book in fact belongs to the defendant's landlord. Yes, that's the part I have a problem with. Sorry? Well, at the point the woman was stabbed, this landlord fellow was at home, wasn't he? Enjoying a fiery scrap with his wife or something, you said. That's not exactly how I put it, no. Well, anyway, the point is the fellow and his wife were somewhere else when it happened. I think that's what you call a strong alibi. So it couldn't have been the landlord who did it, which leaves only the Nipponese fellow. Honestly, I can't see what all this palaver is about. It's a done deal, isn't it? I suppose it is, since I've nothing witty left to say. Maned wolf VTuber. Because a real fox has ears bigger than the head in area. So what you're saying is that you want my ears to be bigger? You want the ears to be bigger? Because normally they have boobs bigger than their head because I'm not lewd. But I'm not lewd, so ears. Oh yeah, she did give me kind of bigger boobs. I don't know if that's... It's not really a problem for me, I don't really care, but... I wonder if they're gonna jiggle. Maybe I'll ask her if they'll jiggle. Okay. Someone you used to watch got a new model and you just can't watch anymore. It bothers you because of that. Because of the boobs bigger than their head? If there was some novel alternative explanation. Okay. So, you might be willing to change your decision, you mean? Oh my, such delight on your face, but I'm afraid I shan't be swayed by emotion. Despite what you may think of me, I'm a very modern, metropolitan, and rational woman. That's great. That's great. If one reads the morning papers, it's all forgotten by tea time, isn't it? So why read them in the first place? You see? Modern, metropolitan, and rational thinking, wouldn't you say? And not at all extreme. As I see it, an overwhelmingly suspicious Japanese man has been implicated by overwhelmingly strong testimony. So despite 1 or 2 minor puzzlements, I do declare that the man is overwhelmingly guilty. Modern, metropolitan, and rational logic, wouldn't you say? Okay, overwhelmingly. But us modern gals are always delighted to embrace new fads, you know? So I'd be only too happy to consider an exciting new theory if you could come up with one. I'd be happy to do that too if I could. They went with each one about 3 times their head? I kind of want to see this now. 3 times? Can you screenshot it? That might not be good, but I kind of want to see it. Okay. Let's do our very best not to disappoint her. Okay. Next. Even if the woman was storing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Is this guy a twin brother of the Hatter? I've been wondering that myself. They look very similar. I wonder if they just use the same model. It's because a lot of people want mattress women with a chest big enough to use as a pillow, hammy. Winters in London are no joke. You don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open, as Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, you see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. And what's the point in even having windows? counsel you will kindly refrain from childish bickering. Oh, sorry. Somehow I need to show that there's an undeniable possibility that the window was open. 3 times ears at that point will be propellers. Hey, there's a VTuber like that, right? The one from HoloLive Ian. The one who has the propeller. Because this young man isn't gonna budge otherwise. Okay, next.
Hold it!
But the little book was on fire at the time, was it not? With flames of love, I'll have you know. There's really no such thing as a loving incendiary bomb. Well, he brought it upon himself. It's playing with fire to betray a fiery love, isn't it? Well, don't you agree? Oh, any kind of betrayal is certainly a bad thing, yeah. But I think the misunderstanding I think the argument might have arisen out of your misunderstanding, Mrs. Scaredeb. Never you mind that. The point is we were just having a jovial little dispute, nothing more. And I won't have any more of these suggestions that it was anything whatsoever to do with this crime. Okay, right. We'll see about that. What about juror number 5? There's a helicopter VTuber? Yeah, Crony? The one from Hollow. Ian. Can someone show this guy? Stop hitting him! He doesn't seem to be turning a hair at Mrs. Scaredeb's relentless onslaughts. It's almost as though he's used to it. What a gentle soul he is. Can I get big jiggly cheeks and helicopter ears next time? Face cheeks, if you were unsure. I wasn't unsure.
Hold it!
Okay. You just want to get this over with? How can you sit there and say something like that? A man's future is at stake here. Well, him and me both then, like I said before. What? I told you already, I'm a day laborer, aren't I? If I don't bring home some Reddies with me tonight, you'll find me floating face down in the Thames tomorrow morning. What? You heard me. My missus isn't one to mess about, you know. She can be fierce, believe you me. Oh no, another abused husband. Another shining example of marital bliss then. A situation like this cropped up the other day. It was, well, do you know, it's funny, but I can't quite remember, huh? Sorry? It was too frightening, that's the thing. I must have blocked it out. Helpful? I wonder if Mr. Beat will ever be dragged into the Thames by his scarf. His name is Beat! His name was Beat. There must be some way to jog his memory about this. Alright. Maybe if we beat him up. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. It gave me the sneezes.
Hold it!
Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry? What's that? You have to speak up, lad. Could you tell us more about that fire? Was divorce court not a thing yet? Mini Santa's so cute, he is cute. I like his face. Very round. I like his eyebrows and his nose. And I like his closed eyes. It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on the top it did. What a sight to behold it was. What the fuck? You put candles on a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? Of course not. It was an angel cake to celebrate my birthday, obviously. It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain. Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out, only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught and everything went up, the whole place filled with smoke. Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. He reminds you of Beard Papa? You wanna get Beard Papa? Let's get Beard Papa. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold, but how did you catch a cold from a fire? Makes you wonder why people in Western culture put candles on cake. Interesting. I never questioned it. I always just did it, you know? I always got like a candle that said the number. Or, okay, were petroleum wax candles a thing by then? Maybe they use other kinds of wax? 75 candles is a lot though. What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren blessed them, threw water over me as I tried to put out the flames. And then because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. Oh! The windows. The biting winter air rushed over me like the devil dancing on my grave. It did. I caught a terrible cold of it. It put me in the hospital, blah, blah, blah. I knew it was devil worship all along. Okay. Gee, I wonder what we can do with that. Candles were expensive before petroleum wax. Yeah, 75 seems like a lot. I don't think you would use them for a birthday cake. As a way to honor the birthday of Artemis, the goddess of the moon, the Greeks baked moon-shaped cakes and decorated them with candles to make them glow like the moon in the night sky. Really? That's like way more ancient than I thought. Okay, so let's pit the window guy with the other guy. Okay, pit him with this guy. Pit.
Objection.
Is that right? Okay. Is that right? Paraffin was invented in the early 1800s. Oh, wow. Juror number 3, do you see? Oh, me? See what? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh! Exactly! On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire in the Garrideb household, and Mr. Garrideb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. Oh, my hat! Oh! Pursue.
Excuse me.
Juror number 4, do you have something to say about that? Mrs. Garrideb! Oh, dearie me! What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court, so please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? The room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the window. And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. She's gonna have to go to the ladies' room soon if she keeps drinking tea like that. Yep. Sorry, I had to burp. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise. Look at her cheek! Do it again! The shockwave is going through her right cheek and jiggling into the left. She stores it all in her cheeks. Of course, I should have realized. British people drink tea when they are stressed, and how strong is her bladder? You just want to know where she got the infinite teapot. She made a deal with the devil, obviously. She loved watching them jiggle. I should get cheeks like that. That's a significant step forward. You've managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garrideb's formal statement. Her cheek physics are more advanced than some of the physics VTubers have. It's absolutely true. Yeah. Look at that. Now you mention it, yes, the window was open at the time. I'd clean forgotten, but it's true. Press?
Hold it!
The 4th book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride, the same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garrideb told us he had been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. Oh, she's drinking tea again. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he had been reading? Same place the inspector got his infinite chips from. I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. And now you come to mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. What else has she forgotten? Good question. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I couldn't, you insolent little man. I didn't remember. You didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on, as well you know. I really don't. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it.
Excuse me.
Wow, this is getting fake. All right, what's next? What is it, juror number 5? You know something? I remember what it was, that memory I had blocked out. Huh? It was listening to what this granny was saying, brought it all flooding back. Stop hitting him! Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garrideb, or the maid, I'll have you know. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You hadn't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight, I've lost a day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear, stuck into the wall next to me. It did, about an inch deep. No words, just terror. I could smell it then, you know, that god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use that word lightly again! Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When women lose their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it. What is this patriarchal reversal? Most of domestic violence is committed by men. But all the husband beaters in this game are women. What is this nonsense? Oh, I guess they're white women. Here we have a Japanese woman who would never do such a thing. Wait, she hits me too. Okay, anyway. I wasn't thinking that throwing household objects at people is so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, like with a bow or something. What? Attack? Who are you gonna attack? Because it's illegal for men to have husbands to beat. Fair point. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Okay. What's significant? A woman in a rage will hurl almost anything at you. The kitchen knife really brought that home to me. Oh. Maybe the writer was one of those men's rights activists. Okay, here. She could have thrown the knife out the window, right? She could have thrown the knife out the window, right? 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 I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. Right. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. I'm gonna save. Save. Can somebody tell me if I'm right or not? I hope this changes their stupid minds. I hope this changes their stupid little minds because I don't like this. I don't like this. Yeah.
Objection.
Okay. I am right. Thank you, Santoro. Yep. Juror number 2, do you think perhaps that this could be one such novel alternative? Oh my, whatever do you mean? If I would never throw something at someone, I would rather throw the person, our dear assistant. True. An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. If the juror is the murderer, does that allow a mistrial? Are we actually accusing Mrs. Garrett of murder right now? We are though. What are you talking about? We've demonstrated that the 4th book, The Lion's Pride, that was found at the scene of the crime, originated in Mr. Garrett's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrett household to the street below. What's that now? After all, Mrs. Garrett could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? What are you insinuating now, you little beanpole? I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now you listen here, you Isengala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? A knife, obviously! I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least, this warrants further investigation. Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrett household to the scene of the crime was... the knife? Maybe? The knife. The knife? The knife? The knife. The knife? Knife. The knife. Please be right. A dumbbell! Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrett. What? What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you ever seen it before? Good lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged into the victim's back, man. That's right, we are full of shit. We are full of shit. We have no evidence for this. My lord, remember that when the victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrett were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrett was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window, a window that had been opened to clear the smoke and through which a book sailed to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that that book was found in the... Wait, the book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying that it flew out of the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Huh, even my missus hasn't got an aim like that. Yes, I admit there are many details we don't yet understand, but that's the point. That's precisely why We must not allow this trial to end. Not right now. In the throes of an argument, literally true. Oh my! Mrs. Garadeb, your answer please. Have you seen this knife before or not? Is this case 4 or 5? 4, I think. Oh, wait, she has? What? My lord! I wish to change my decision. I'm a woman of my word after all. Thank you, madame. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman! I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny did it, mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either. Alright. Here we go. Every single time we have to go through this. Also, hi Adi. How are you? We did it again! Dude, the prosecutor has to fucking hate us. If I were this prosecutor, I would hate us. I would have nightmares about this guy. Okay, we did it. Good job, team. So as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors called guilty against 4 now calling innocent. You're doing fine, busy with finals. Oh, okay. I hope that goes well. Don't feel pressured to come by. Well, we'll miss you though. I hope you can come by again when you're done with all your finals. When are you finished? But at this point, he probably wants to suck his blood. Zali. Good luck with your finals. Around the 10th? Oh, that's quite long. Yeah, that's like almost... That's like 2 weeks plus from now. Ganbare. I hope you do well. And this trial will continue. Okay. What are your finals in? You can still come by from time to time. Don't worry about it. We'll miss you, but come back when you're done. Yeah. You mean the prosecutor is British, so he hates me, but because I'm not white. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? He looks pissed. Yeah, best of luck in finals. This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. I actually completely agree. I agree with this guy. This trial is a farce. He only hates Nipponese. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant, it's good for nothing save the gutter. Wow. If I may, Lord Van Zeeks. Don't worry, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have the time to. Okay. The defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting. How is wine stored if not corked? That's what I'm wondering. What are you talking about? Isn't every wine bottle corked? Then you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garadeb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Garadeb's house to the scene is 15 yards. Rapidly descending. Sir, have you been paying attention at all? It's been descending this whole time, right? Let me see. 15 yards. That's around 14 meters. 14 meters? Oh, that's a little further than I'd imagined. And, as you ladies of the gentlemen of the jury rightly notice as having portentous significance, the 4th book was found in the victim's clutches. In other words, the smoldering book wantonly hurled by the lady of the house traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. She could have picked it up. She could have bent down to pick it up, right? Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? Or does this wine rapidly go bad once it's opened? Isn't wine rotten grape juice? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say someone moved the body. And did the jackknife follow a near identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? Hi, Sticky! This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim. She bent down to pick it up and then had a knife land in her bag. I'm just saying that they keep saying that it's ridiculous that she could have picked up the book, but it's not, you know, like it's entirely reasonable that the book landed near her and she bent down to pick it up and that's why it was found in her hand, right? Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. Oh no. There's nothing I can say to that. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. I have to say that the appearance of the woman holding the book, it has struck me that it looks very similar to the Mrs. Garrideb, so I'm a little curious about that. I don't know if that matters. He's only drinking all that wine because he knows it was crushed with feet. He's coming after her lock, that's right. Yeah, see? And Suzato, because she's a fan. She's an Oshi. This guy insulted her Oshi. My lord, might I be allowed to speak? Oh? As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense. Yes, go ahead. That's what bothers her. She stabbed herself in the back just like Caesar. Did Caesar stab himself in the back? The prosecution may consider the idea a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. Suck on that! To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Garrideb, must be called to testify and submit to cross-examination. Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror? Holy shit. This is getting whack. Order! Well, this is highly irregular. It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand.
Objection!
And unnecessary. Lord Van Zeeks? There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth in it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown through the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume that they would be able to testify accordingly. Wine bottle number 2. What say you, witnesses? He's so cute when he goes to sleep. The slow way his eyes close. That's so relatable. Yes, sir. Constable Rowley Beat reporting for duty, sir. Alright. Good morning, officer. Sorry for dozing until now. Sir! I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Wait, who? Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rowley, my hero, you make me swoon. If only he wasn't a cop. Very well. Oh yeah, you missed out on these guys, Roomkeeper. The whole time we were seeing these guys and being like, wow, Roomkeeper would hate this as cops. Very well, I hereby reject the defense's request. Oh, we got owned. And order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events. Yes, sir. Alright, back into witness testimony. Constable Beats report. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb. Believe me, a London Bobby is good for his word. You see, son, the windows on the top floor of the Garrideb house are top hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go fetch help, but my trusty Rowley was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. He was asleep. He spent the entire time asleep. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Yeah, you were asleep. Hey, are the couple scarves connected? Are they? Actually? Well, this is quite startling. Top hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable. Yes, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. You cannot excuse your sins of drowsiness every time, Constable. No, sir. Sorry, but... what are they? And you cannot excuse your ignorance of such trite remarks, my learned friend. Rolly, pleat face, fingers emojis. Of course, sorry. I found it. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's room. Alright, I'll try. Oh, they open like this, not like this. They open like this. Yeah. So the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. Ah, I see, I see. But as it's a top hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see? Is her book Google or something? Wikipedia book is at it again, yeah. So it's quite difficult for a knife to get through there, wouldn't it? I'm glad you've rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It prevents it opening? This is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife were to have been thrown out the open window, it would have clattered against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. No! Shut up! You see the problem then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered, something we've discounted already. That can't be. Did you see that, Rolly? Are their scars connected? I think we talked about how they were matching before, but are they actually connected? Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw he crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet and my argument's already been destroyed. Counsel, if you could drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. You think they are connected? Oh, how cute. My lord, oh good, another desperate situation. Let's go, press them on everything. Press, 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 press. Press, press, press. Press, 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 press. Hold it! How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen of our sworn duty. He showed us that before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man, it's what the job's all about. And that's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you a Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes admittedly, sir. Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Cringe. Maybe me and Cash should... Hey, me and Cash should do that. We should get two VTubers that are like connected. And then we can do that together. What do you guys think? Did you guys watch a... That would be cute. It'd be kind of cursed. Ogre Magi. And have them dance and cuddle. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb? I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. Yeah, well, so could you answer the question? Absolutely. I will answer it to the fullest of my abilities. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. Yeah? I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard, so I hope you'll take back some tales of us London bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just got here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. Okay, but I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears. Thank you. I will try. Oh, okay. We got something new, so let's take a look at it. Hold on. Have we looked at everything? Oh yeah, okay, examine. Item number 1. A policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beat. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Any crimes which fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Yeah, 20 miles a day. Any crime? What is this? Does this matter? Maybe it's the regulations that matter. When a crime is discovered on his beat, the policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Any crimes fall under... You see where this is going? Oh really? I did not... I don't see where this is going. I don't see where this is going. Okay, press. Hold it! By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir? Remember how he said the crime was discovered on another policeman's beat? Yes. This was already mentioned, but the street separates two beats. Yes, I remember he said that it wasn't his beat, so he sent Patricia to get policemen from the other police box, right? They're just there to allow a bit of air through the house, you see, so they're restricted as to how much they open. And therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street but directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Here is the location where objects would have fallen. Yes, directly opposite the scene of the crime on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for somebody to mention this top hinge casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be? How do you even know? Why would you have any idea what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Garridep's house is furnished with? Ah, well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday. Oh. Pursue.
Excuse me.
If it's an 8-hour day, he would have to maintain a 24-minute mile. I guess it's longer than 8 hours then, huh? Do you have something to add, Mrs. Beat? Sorry? You look well delighted. Is there some particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky. Lucky? Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's beat. It was so close, you see. Oh, I hadn't realized. Oh yes, that street, Briar Road, that's the boundary between Rolly's beat and the next one. Okay. So why did he have to help? Isn't that right, my love? He said he had to help, right? Why did he have to help then? Constable Beat. How convenient that he went to sleep again. Huh? Oh, yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Garridep household yesterday. Their house is on my beat, you see, sir. You know, Patricia, you didn't have to say that at all. It's true, she didn't have to. That really was cutting it close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Garridep household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it is as well? Outside Mr. Garridep's house, yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. I see, I was unaware of that. Oh, okay. Maybe they moved the body because they wanted to go on their date and not have... Right? So maybe they moved the body. 12 hours would be a 36-minute mile and 15 hours would be a 45-minute mile. No matter what, imagine their legs. Yeah, this guy, every day is leg day. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of Briar Road, we would never have been able to go for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. She doesn't have to say this. But that's the life of a Bobby, after all. Okay, extraordinary people are Bobbies, tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. Do you know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should make sure we have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. The case file's information has been updated in the court record. And now it's my turn, I think. Baggy pants are skin tight for him. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out the window, we would have seen it. Okay, press. But according to my notes here, the sun had gone down already and it was dark. Oh, but Rolly and I were just strolling along, gazing at the night sky and looking for our lucky star. Sorry. The star that will guide us to eternal happiness. Can't it guide you to answer the question? If a flaming book had cut across the sky in front of us, it would have lit up like a shooting star. And if I'd seen a shooting star, I would have made a wish upon it. Let Rolly be the inspector, I would have said 3 times at least. Of course, with the smog and everything, you couldn't actually see any stars. In short, are you trying to say that neither a book nor a knife crossed the sky before you? Yes, sir, that's the correct. As sure as the night sky in London is starless. It certainly seems like they're telling the truth. And then we saw the poor woman fall to the ground, so we ran straight over to help her. Okay. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. Yes, you said that you went to a nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every police box on the beat. So Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. It's Cass. I'm Patricia. Oh no. Okay. So I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. Okay, I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front.
Hold it!
Nothing to report? That's correct, sir. I had my eyes wide open the entire time, never looked away for a second. British people, when the sky clears for the first time in 259 years and they see a strange orange ball in the sky. It is very cloudy there. It's like Seattle. No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the yard's honor, sir. Really? That seems a little strange. Beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of the Lion's Pride was originally in the Garrideb household, so the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well? That seems like a bit of a coincidence, isn't it? Even if that were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived at the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how that knife ended up in her back and how that book ended up in her hand, there must be some common thread between them. Okay. Alright. Can I ask you something, please, Mr. Lawyer, sir? Yeah? What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. Yeah, no shit. Your story doesn't fucking line up. What's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. Whoa. She's pulling out the woman card? You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. Okay. I really don't ever remember suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. Okay. Go ahead and speak. Supplement your testimony if you desire. Sometimes the path of least resistance is the sage one. What's with all the abusive women in this story? Holy shit, it's getting kind of weird. I heard that Japanese man thinks a policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? I never said that. I never said that. Well, watch out, sir. I might let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't. Dev definitely has a kink. I know, right? Duly noted. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What's she gonna say? Yeah, this case was written by an incel. Oh. I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though. Okay, should I press her on that? Or what? Okay, let's go back. I know what I saw. My eyes never let... Okay, press. Japanese devs want to tell us something. Yeah, I'm getting a message, but it's not super clear. It could be... women bad? Maybe? Okay, nobody's questioning what you've told us. I saw it, I did. That evening, I saw it clearly. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction. Oh, yes. Well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I'm always ending up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross. Oh? The sleepy boy wants to say something.
Excuse me.
What do you want to say? Constable Beat, is there a problem? Eh? No problem, sir? Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir, yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way on the night of the incident? This guy needs a nap. He's getting one right now. Well, you see, I sent her off to find a police box in the next beat over from mine, but she was gone a fair bit longer than what I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, silly. The bouquet? Sorry, what are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Okay. How romantic. I'd forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Huh? But that was just between us? No talking about it to anyone else, darling. You have to promise... Really? What is going on? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. What is happening? Yeah. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. Use that juror's money. Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, Van Zeeks is like, I'm the same way. I don't understand where this is going. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. Okay, press here. You mean you dropped your bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. What the fuck is happening? Can these dudes just be honest? When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet that Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice it at first. And then you went to the police box to report it to the policeman whose beat it was on. Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again, but the funny thing was when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere near the victim's body at all. In case you need reminding, Mrs. Beat, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably. That's right, silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although I'm going to blame the bouquet this time, I can't think how it got there. I really can't. Okay, so the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed, isn't it? But the worst of it, I forgot to pick the bouquet up again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me with that change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. What a narc, she ran away to report a lady of the night. The lady got stabbed, so it was the wind. Wait! By bouquet? Do you perhaps mean the sorry solitary rose? Here's the rose! Oh! Yes, that's it! That's the bouquet Rolly bought me for our anniversary with old bits of change he found in the gutter. So what if she isn't bad at directions, but he's been gaslighting her for years? MOE, maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Van Zeeks, where did you come by the flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household. In front of the Garadeb's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case since it was found on the opposite side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. Could I have it back now, please? No, I think for good measure this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. It's all coming together. Yeah, it is. Okay. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial. Do you hear me? I want it back. Good grief. Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget Mrs. Beat. Okay. Alright. Take a look at the rose. An English rose. Hold on. It's such a beautiful flower. This is a rose, is it? I've never seen one before. Do you not take an interest in flowers? I wouldn't say that exactly, but I do know 3 types at least. Gosh, 3? Yes, plum blossom, peach blossom, and cherry blossom. Perhaps you should consider branching out, learning some that aren't fruit tree based, for example. Wrapped in a newspaper. He's poor though. He's a poor Bobby. He works hard for the people. Or something like that. It's very stylish paper the flower's wrapped in, isn't it? It's just an old newspaper. Oh, I suppose it's because I'm not used to seeing English print. It looks so exotic to me. I see. Is something wrong? Oh, no. I was just thinking that if you wrapped a stone-baked sweet potato in English newspaper, it might look like some sort of fancy cake. Oh, you do love your cakes. Okay. Is that relevant? Is there anything else? Maybe this? Oh, we already saw this. Okay. Wish there was a way to skip this. Okay, so is that all that we need to see? Naruhodo would tattoo exotic English words onto himself. Is this the same thing? Fuck, it is the same thing! It's the same thing. Alright. Okay, so there's a rose. You think holding it should skip faster? Okay, I'll try it next time. Okay. Fuck! I'm holding it. It's not working. Okay. Can you unwrap it? No, I think we need a proof that he moved the fucking body. I think we need a proof that he moved the body. Okay. You have to turn on skip in the options. I have it on. Text skip. Okay. So which of these things do I want to... Rusty really was there. What happened was I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment. Nothing strange to report on that. Okay, so we need a proof that he moved the body, right? How do we do that? It's not this Windows one. It's not this. Excuse me, it's not that one. Not this one. I did leave the scene to go and fetch help, but my trusty relay was there to make sure. Nothing strange to report. Okay. So nothing strange to report. Is it the bouquet that we use to prove it, or... Because... I mean, that's the obvious contradiction here that we're trying to bring up, but I'm not sure how the game wants me to bring it up. Do I just present him the bouquet? You can't see the bubbles? Oh. Is that better? This one? This is right. This guy is severely sleep deprived, he's gonna mess up. Why are you taking the cop side, Roomkeeper? What's going on here? Okay, so... The classic, I know the answer but not how to make the game accept it problem. Yeah, the classic Japanese game thing. Okay, do I just give him the bouquet? Because it says here, the shock of seeing the stab victim caused Mrs. Beat to drop the rose where she stood, but they found it across the road later, right? Objection. Please be right. You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes you were guarding the scene, but that cannot be. Didn't she testify earlier that he was sleeping when she came back? Yeah, she did actually, but I guess we're ignoring that. What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mrs. Beat, you explained to the court. You're not taking his side, you're saying he won't keep up his lies because he's sleep deprived. Oh, I see. That when you arrived back at the scene of the crime with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Objection! Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road to where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of that meager bouquet, as if a single sorry bloom can be so described, leave him alone, he's poor. He bought it with spare change he found in the gutter. What is this guy, classist? No doubt it was blown in the wind across the street back into the gutter where it belongs. Meager? But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? He isn't normal, actually. You can tell from his clothes, I guess. No one else approached this. Lord Van Ziegs, right? No one else approached the scene and nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore to that on Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It has nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way round. What are you talking about? Think about it. You want to see Rolly snap awake to reveal his whole drowsy shtick as an act? We're about to see it, I think. Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garadeb's book. Mr. Garadeb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out of the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. Did the whole street get flipped up? Yeah, it's like one of those puzzle games where you can lift it up and turn it around. And yet, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beat's bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's house. There's no logical explanation for these things unless somebody deliberately moved them. Very interesting. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Don't you listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says. Wittering on about books and bouquets. Why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh good, Mrs. Derek Garrideb's come round. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garrideb. But deliberately meddling with the scene of a crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it for a very subtle but compelling reason.
Objection!
Tampering? You've barely heard the term before! Tell us, my learned friend. Who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? There is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence and all the testimony points to that one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this. Who are you saying? It's the cop, right? The worst court simulator ever. This guy, right? This guy, right? This guy, right? This guy, right? Yeah, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. Okay.
Take that!
Tim. Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. You hope Van Zeeks gets punched at some point. He's gonna be sucking my dick. Constable Rolly Beat, it was you! What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense! Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. No Bobby works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beat, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It's lies. What about that Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it.
Objection!
If that was true, Constable Beat would have seen him do it. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, fuck 12. It was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well,
Objection!
first you make accusations about a landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with. But there is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something. That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would we have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. So, let me get this straight, Van Zeeks. We don't have a motive for... Yeah, first of all, motive is not necessary to charge for a crime. That's right. Mason is absolutely correct. Second of all, we don't have a motive for Natsume Soseki, but we charge him with a crime anyway. So I don't understand why the motive is so important for the policeman. But anyway, you like the way Pat holds him like a puppet? Yeah, it is cute. It's like, she's like the VTuber. The person behind the VTuber, and Rolly's the VTuber. Constable Beat had very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to this entire affair. Yes, I've solved the mystery. Can we do it? Let's do it. 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 Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Just give me the option. Was to hide where the victim fell. Where the victim fell. Where the victim fell to the ground. That is what this Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road, we saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know. That's certainly what everyone has been led to believe, but in fact, that isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? Okay, can we get to the point? It's so fucking draggy. I'm beginning to wonder where this will end. Yeah. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponese friend. Where are you proposing that this crime actually took place that evening? Here. Here, right?
Take that!
Oh, their scarves are connected? Oh, they are? But that's... How did she manage to rate then? Rate? Physics defying scarves on the opposite side of the road. Yeah. I don't understand. Rotate. Oh, rotate. On the evening in question, Mr. Garadev's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beat, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime in itself. What you're dying to know is why they didn't dust for fingerprints or do any physical evidence collection. It's like the 1900s. Did they dust for fingerprints back then? Maybe they didn't. Maybe they did. It was an outdoor scene too. Good gracious. Get to the point, please. Fingerprints are not a thing yet. You knew it, the street move. Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was a typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help, and during the 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in this print, the victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing. What? What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Hey, he's helping me. Are you on my side now? He's on my side now, exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord Van Ziek said it wasn't noticed until the morning as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. Yes, it couldn't be seen in the dark, obviously, which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. Van Ziek looks so done. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond? Constable Rolly Beat! He's not chewing! He's not chewing! He's not chewing! Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? You fucking liar! Oh, Rolly. It isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream, a terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only it seems it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly. Sure, that wasn't a dream. What on earth is the meaning of all this? Oh, really? Why? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? She's not dead. Wishing the victim dead should be one too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation, for everything. I have a possible explanation. For why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. Throw him in the slammer? What? How could you possibly know? Wow. This guy's on my side now. You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. Never mind, he's not on my side. He's 0% on my side. And yet, Lord Van Ziek, it is this foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. Wow, this guy's on my side. Take that. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Nipponese black magic. He's a cop. He's gonna get a slap on the wrist and paid leave. Can I get some paid leave in here? Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. Let's do this. England, Japan, it makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. and I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? Okay, it's his warrant card, right? It's this one, right? Yeah. So it's because he didn't want to do the work, right?
Take that!
Paid leave? You mean a final pre-hiatus donathon? I don't want to go on hiatus, but I'm so sick all the time. I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land and I have only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. The extremer equivalent of paid leave. Keeping the peace, looking after the citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young Bobby is charged of a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh yes, it was our very first wedding anniversary. Shino, hi, Ibazumi. What's up? Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife, and was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal, when he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime along Briar Road. This guy's on my side now. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind? But son, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Keeping the streets safe by moving wounded bodies with knives still in them. I know. Amazing. Oh, he doesn't want to admit it. This is the warrant card that Constable Beat offered to lend to me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beat. Is that, or is that not, the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Oh, I feel kind of bad for him. Yes! Everything you said, it's all right. So that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Wait, even this guy's buying into it. He's a police officer who tampered with evidence, yeah. Oh! Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. His name is Beat. The whole time his name has been Beat. Good gracious. Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done? It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God! Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. Still a federal crime. He rolled the body over. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives. Why here? Why did this have to happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? And then he lied about it and wasted valuable time. Yeah, he sure did. It's a copper's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever who was on duty there. It was then when I opened my mouth to speak, it just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my own mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat, so you'll have to go to the police box that covers it, turn right along Meerschaum Street, and then... Wow. I should be a detective. I think these games would be more fun as a detective game. Well... Actually, the investigation parts of this game are not fun, so the law part is fun. Alright, we figured out the truth. Oh no, he's crying! I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just wanted just that one night to take my Patricia out to dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night. Poor guy. I mean, I get it. He's a cop, but like, needs a hot antagonistic rebel in the courtroom. Yeah, I do feel bad for him. That sucks. You knew that if the incident was on your beat, Your evening of celebration would be ruined. This is why you shouldn't trust cops. They'll change evidence if it's inconvenient to them. Runekeeper, haven't you heard? That's why we don't need the jury. You can trust the system. No. This is not why we need unions. And unions are run by people who don't know what they're talking about. They are not run by business people. They're run by lay people. Unions are run by lay people. Juries are lay people. You can't trust any of them. Put your faith in the system, you guys. You understand why he did what he did, but doesn't excuse it. I mean, I agree. It's not excusable. But I sympathize. Yeah. Until you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction. Just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care. So, you see, I thought Shino is pro-system. I'm memeing. I'm very anti-system. I'm very anti-system. Just place undying faith in the judge. That's right. You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. Oh, jeez! He thought she was dead. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement. Also, don't trust people who look like cops. They could be bounty hunters breaking into your apartment at 2 a.m. after your roommate. Is that a TV show reference or something? I see your meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly. And can you tell us, Constable? That's a you reference? Wait, did bounty hunters come after your roommate? How many books did you move from the one side of the road to the other in total? You're still not over the fact that Rolly beat Roll the body over so it wouldn't be on his beat. Yeah, I've been wondering about his name and now it finally makes sense. Oh, 4 it was. Yes, definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrett household, of course. Bounty hunters have been known to kidnap people here in Mexico and bring them to the USA. Okay. Over a missed court date for a traffic ticket that was thrown out. What? What are you guys talking about? You guys live in the Wild West? But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. Oh, well said, that's because that's how I found it. How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book, so when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. We just lived outside of Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh yes, no doubt about it. Interesting. The 4th book's information has been... Wait, it's not over? It's not done yet? I thought it was an open and shut case at the time, you see. There were only 2 people at the scene and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who'd done it. I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Oh... My lord! Yes, Lord Van Zeeks. I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Okay. Alright. Constable, you may withdraw. Jesus. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. This is the part where we find out we're at the halfway mark? No. How did he not leave a trail of blood? Good point. What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him? For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. He's a victim of the system too, though, because they're not letting him take days off. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. Alright then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir? Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, carve the lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Never again, sir. You mean to say... Leave now. This trial is not yet over. Sir... Oh, he hasn't been fired. I don't know, man. He tampered with a crime scene and a wounded body to simp for his wife. It's almost as if our labor system is bad in and of itself. Yeah, I know what you're saying. Quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party translating the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord, nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here, principally that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could have possibly committed this crime. Okay, we're back to this, huh? No, I disagree. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord Van Zieks, is this true? Very well. Name the person if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing? What? Simping for the defense? As punishment, they're going to decrease the radius of his beat by 1 street. Okay. Is it her? Is it Gerda? Is it her? It could be her, right? She was throwing knives and shit. I think because she recognized the knife. I feel like she recognized the knife. Yeah, it's Jiggly. Jiggly. I'm gonna call her Jiggly from now on. The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again, my assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it's imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joan Gerda. Me? Oh, dearie me.
Objection!
Wait, now you're objecting? You said we could keep going. That request has always been denied. Already been denied, but the sister is different now. You said we could! 2 seconds ago, he was simping for us. Mrs. Gerda, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? Was this an accident? It could have been, yeah. At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Gerda. In the course of the argument, a Meyer house fire was lit, and to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Bar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open top hinge casement window, the book plummeted directly down, finding its way to what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Gerda. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back, have you really never laid eyes on it before? I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, the man over there in all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes.
Objection!
No, I have no recollection of saying that at all. Juror number 4? Oh. Make no mistake, you jurors are not special in any way. You are not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madame, let the truth come out. Simping for the defense? But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Mrs. Jiggly? He's simping for the truth. Now you listen to me. Van Zieks willing to fuck up in the name of classism. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. Aren't you always beating up your husband? So yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Do your worst. Well, if I had evidence like that, I would have thrown it at her already. Then take the stand, juror. Oh! The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman! Thank you! I'm going to have to testify? Juror number 4, as I'm sure you'll appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh, dearie me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Jiggly. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. Don't they have a right to remain silent in the UK? Yeah, right? You don't have to testify against yourself. Like you don't have to self-incriminate or something. But I think not self-incriminating is like, if you refuse to testify, then maybe that's also a sign to the jurors, right? Hi, no sleep. Hello. This is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. What does? I'm here in the Old Bailey and I'm a lawyer. Oh, whoa. Alright, let's get on with it. Okay. Witness, state your name and occupation. It can be assigned, but it can't be used as court evidence, at least not in the US. Oh, nice. Cool. Not in the US. So, yes, my name is Joan Jiggly. And I'm a jiggly juror and such like. It sounds like even she doesn't know if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. He's savoring the sense in the courtroom. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madame? Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. So like, is Natsume Soseki still on trial, or is he like just done? He's not on trial anymore, right? Or what? Oh, he's still on trial. Oh, dearie me. Chin up, Joni. Nothing to worry about. Oh, he's here! Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. Are they gonna testify together? Wasn't only you in the room that day, old thing, was it? Rather think I ought to testify as well, don't you? Mr. Moonman? But what about your knee, dear? Don't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to leave a comrade to face disciplinary action alone. Oh, John. I presume you are Mr. John Garrett. Yes, sir. Former second lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers. Sir, seen my fair share of action and now living the quiet life, as it were. His knee keeps him from testifying. It hurts! Going into the stand is difficult. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Well, yes. Quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Sir, at once. Jesus. Actions for Brits means he has helped colonizers. They are, I think at this point of time, they are all colonizers. The Battle of Gardapp. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. I remember the reason, sorry. Knocked the candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out though and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I'd noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. He fought in Afghanistan, so he lost. It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although an entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir. Had no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield, you're just a gnat's whisker from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that surroundings are barely noticed. His head looks like a question moon. Yeah, that's why Emily calls him Moon Man. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. Van Zeeks may well be right. Is he helping me? He's helping me! He's on my side! Well, whatever the chances, we have only this last cross-examination to uncover the truth. I'm afraid so. You think that knife is his? I think so too. Okay, let's go. Let's see if we can finish this case today. I'm pretty tired. Probably from the war. Oh, yeah. Because he had a lot of war memorabilia, right? Okay, press him on everything. Press. The reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of a book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Jiggly found the note, discovering her husband's little secret. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too. What a sordid state of affairs. You don't think they have enough evidence to make a guilty verdict? Yeah, I think personally that my guy should go free, because I don't think he did it anymore. Hell on earth. I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide off the mark anyway. A likely story. These waters run very deep. And what transpired next after these multiple blows to the face? Okay, knock the candlestick over. Okay. And the fire also spread to some items of furniture, didn't it? The bookcase, my armchair, anything of mine really. Just so happens there was some bath water around that evening, so I sloshed out about to put it out. A most precarious situation you put yourself in. You can't say whether he did it or not, and guilty beyond a reasonable doubt is a criteria, so he'd have to be ruled innocent. Yes, I think so. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street where the water main isn't connected yet. Have to draw water from a public water pump during the day if you need any, you see. The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although, that little mustached Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen him? I believe he uses all of his income to buy books. Well, anyway, the point is I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough. Okay. Meanwhile, she was throwing things at him. Even though the room was on fire, as far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. When a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly not true of a Susato takedown. How did she know I was thinking that? So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall. But I feel I must point out that I am no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, a garlic, a towel, a sponge, a napkin!
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? That woman should be charged with domestic abuse. Yeah, she should. Mr. Jiggly! Yeah, don't shoot! Oh, sorry. Beg your pardon. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind? Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She... Good grief, woman, we're not at home now. This is a court of law. Oh, dearie me, ever so sorry, dear. What is she even doing with a teapot in here? Honestly, John, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously. Well, take a look at this then. How do you suppose that happened then? Huh? Your pipe, sir? Oh, it broke. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught, knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage. I see, your pipe was broken. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I've managed to bandage the thing up for now. Ah, you are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dear? So maybe the woman was leaning down to pick up the book. She was leaning down to pick up the book, and then the knife hit the thing and then fell down, and it stabbed her because of gravity. That's why it stabbed her in the back. You get what I'm saying? Because otherwise, how would it get her in the back? But she leaned down to pick up the book, and then the knife got her in the back. Thoughts? Okay, anyway, it could be important. The defense believes Mr. Jiggly's remarks just now to be of great significance.
Objection!
I thought you were on my side. This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife and pipes as well as hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed, common sense, one might say. Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with a young lady. Oh no, he's gonna go home and get beaten up again. Jones, Monster Throw launched the knife at an insane speed of 128 miles per hour. It ricocheted off the window straight into the victim's spine. Very well, the court will accept the pipe as evidence. Okay. Let's take a look at it. Examine. Okay. It looks to be in a sorry state with that bandage around it, doesn't it? But for some reason, it feels slightly ominous to me, like it's trying to shout out a warning. Probably because it's the same blue as Mr. Garydub's dressing gown. I suppose it must have considerable sentimental value to Mr. Garydub, given that he's gone to the trouble of repairing it like this. Either that, or he can't afford to replace it. Okay. Oh! What is that? Is that something? What is that? Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe there. Yes, I saw it. Something stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What's this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. Oh, okay. Alright, okay. Okay, alright. Alright. There's a small nick out of the bowl here. Look, it appears to be made relatively recently. And see how there are little scrapes and dents all over it? It's clearly a well-loved pipe. Yes, you're right. It seems to me recently that being well-loved goes hand in hand with getting some battle scars. No. Abuse is not love. Abuse is not love. This particular nick is catching my eye though. Are we doing bowls now? We're gonna hotbox the entire courtroom. The knife is missing a chunk? Yeah, it is. Yep, it is. It is. Yep. Oh, look here, just at the tip, a small piece of the blade appears to be missing. The hotbox was the other case, the one of the leprechaun they hotboxed. Yeah, he got hotboxed. Wait, part of it's missing? I could be wrong, but I've just got a feeling. Yeah. That's a tiny fragment of metal that we found inside Mr. Garydub's pipe. Yes, and just maybe, it's a perfect fit. Somehow I just knew it. Okay. So how do I show them this? Can I just present it to them right now? I hope I didn't speak out of turn. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Okay. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Jiggly. Now we could return to the crux of the matter. What can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed if one or two went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. Present? Present, right? I can prove it. I can prove it with the piece of the knife that's missing. Right? Right. Present. Oh wait, you know what? I didn't expect, sorry. Yeah, see, didn't expect this thing. This is the tiny piece of metal we found in the chamber of the pipe, and what a stroke of luck that it's a perfect fit with the broken tip of the jackknife. It's extraordinary, isn't it? It fills me with a sense of awe. But miracles can happen, I guess. Okay, yeah, let's present this. Present.
Objection!
Mr. Garydub, can I ask you to take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a bally thing. You can't? Used to call me Dead-Eye Deb back in the regiment, of course, but that was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days, I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest. Oh, he does. Dearie me, it's rather wearing being asked about every other letter in every other word. You must be very dizzy. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear to be at first to just be a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. It's extraordinary, isn't it? It's like this is a children's game. No, this isn't really a children's game. It's like for 15-year-olds. I guess they're children. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Garydub's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove, I wonder how that got there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, counsel? Are you suggesting that it is some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? I'm floating? Yeah, I don't want to block the text box. So I'm moving. Hurry up, we already know the ending. I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of the case. If she can play Phoenix right, she's legal! No, I didn't say that. Let me put the proof. Can I present this? Do I have to like do the tip of it? No, okay, I just present the knife itself, right?
Take that!
No wonder what the result is. That woman should go to jail. Yeah. This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you will see that there is a small piece at the tip of the blade that is missing. Manslaughter, yeah. A common issue with the inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave the tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim.
Objection.
Pierced by a blunted knife. How embarrassing! No, that's not the case. It would hurt, I think. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of the pipe. He grabbed his heart! Good grief, Lord Van Zeeks? I don't believe it! What? He turned into a blushing maiden! The knife from the crime scene and this fragment of metal are a perfect match! Good golly gosh! Oh my god, he grabbed his heart. You hope he's having a heart attack! He took damage to his life points. Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? So Van Zeeks has figured it out, has he? Why is that man wearing a burnt coat? Maybe he's really attached to it. They can... I simp swoon in my prosecution. Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. That was it, the clouded Kokoro? Nice. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here, I think it's this case, is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Garridup's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent witness testimony. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught, knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles she did, yes. It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh dearie me, she's jiggling! During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Jiggly flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Garridup, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off. Of course! Good lord! Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Garridup's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1! And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Garridup's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh no! Oh, his coat is all burnt. I just noticed that too. Oh, she's standing on a box too! I only just noticed that. The 360 point. Wait, objection? A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. Wait. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Wow. Allow me to toast my learned friends. Characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see, it's spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency. What the fuck? Stop talking about corking him. He wants to cork my bottle. Or he wants to... he wants to put his bottle in... I'm not good at wine puns. I don't drink. Lord Van Zeeks, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency? Yeah. An inconsistency of the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with the knife planted in the middle of her back. He wants his bottle uncorked so it can be used. Yes, yes, in her. She hit him! That's right, you silly little man. Don't hit him! Now, Jono thing, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. If the knife that had struck her had fallen from above, she should literally be put in restraints. Yeah, it's... I don't know. There's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Yag. Okay. She was picking up the book. Can we talk about this? She was picking up the book. Order. Quite right. You see, that's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of the head. Well, he's lost for words. Look. I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place. Yeah, I already solved this. Okay, so now we still have to go through this. Okay. My theory, your theory, my learned friend, is history. No, it's not over. Can we... We were so close I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. Okay, but now there's... Yeah. Okay. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one inconsistency and the theory will stand. Miss Susato, she's right. Actually, that's a good way of looking at it. Positive thinking. The knife still matches though. True, right? Yeah. Just because the angle of attack was wrong, the knife is still a match. You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard and your mind went blank. But if the path you were on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. Okay. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance that your theory is fatally flawed. And just like history is written down, it's ironclad and no amount of objections can break it. Oh, here we go. Oh, thank you, Sticky. I've been reading non-stop for 2 hours, yeah. Soseki snagged the knife out of the air and stabbed her with it. That's right. He caught it like one of those Cirque du Soleil performers. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her in the middle of her back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain. Okay, just let me do it. Surely this will be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. Was the victim already dead? She's not dead, she's alive. She's actually still alive right now. She just... Sorry, she's in a coma, so she can't testify. This is the last inconsistency, the final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence is the book. It's the book.
Take that!
The cop thought she was dead, yeah. This, the fourth book found at the scene. How does a knife to the middle of the back cause a coma? How about a knife to the middle of the back and then being left to bled out in the street for like an hour? And then they took photos of your body. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. The burnt book? Is that not Mr. Jiggly's book? Wait, the cop moved a live injured victim? Yes, he did. Yes, and to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we all know now, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Quite so, as part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. Rolled her to the next beat. That's true, however, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. It's not working. Where's my deal of it? Uh-oh. Ibrahimi used points, but... Oh, there it is. It was kind of late. Sorry, hold on. You guys mind if I wash my hands really quickly? I've been applying something to my arm, but I have to wash it off. Sorry, I'm back. My arm was itchy, so I was putting some itch cream on it. Okay. Let's go. Go, go, go. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. You like the animation of him just occasionally tapping the paper? I like a lot of the animation in this game. The characters are also very cute, but the story is pretty good, but there's a lot of questionable things in it. What if the knife didn't pierce that deep, but Rolly kept pushing the knife in deeper while rolling her? So he was like rolling her across the street, and every time it went over, the knife got jammed in some more. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. Okay. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition, and clearly that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hand? By Jingo! I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now. At one point it came out of her, and once he got her move, he put it back in! Oh dearie me. They need an AA game that's set in Twitch chat. That'd be kind of fun, actually. You guys want me to make a game like that? What can I've been thinking about doing another... You remember when I did the visual... What in God's Green Earth is by Jingo? It's like some crazy British thing. When something big drops, everyone goes Pog Slider! I think that I would like to write another game type stream experience this year, but I haven't had any ideas. There's an Ace Attorney case editor. Oh, interesting. Okay. We know that the book fell from the top floor of the Gyarados household onto the pavement below at precisely the moment the victim was walking past. Yes, it's exactly that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in a light fog when all of a sudden a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw. Yes, Mrs. Gyarados, and what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I really can't imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked the book up. Yes, that is exactly what she did. She picked it up. Oh, heavens! And when she reached down to pick the fallen book up, what position would her back have been in? Hog slider time. That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. She's comfy. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, she died. She got slaughtered. The next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Well, I never. It appeared to Mr. Natsume that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. Moral of the story, always wear your hard hat and turtle shell. In the dark and the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on her from above. And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. So there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, this was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. Moral of the story, books are your sworn enemy. Yeah, that's what most VTubers seem to think. And that is the real truth behind this case. Oh, Crispy Tender, thanks for the follow. Do you like books, my guy? You like reading? What? Well, Mr. and Mrs. Jiggly. ... The very first time you showed me that knife, I had my suspicions! I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that. There, old bean. Poor Mrs. Jiggly. Oh. Of course, I never meant for it to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw the knife as well. So, is the trial over? John dear. It's alright, I know. I'm ever so sorry. No, it's assault on a witness, attempted assault with a deadly weapon, attempted murder, murder in the third degree, domestic abuse. Oh, it's okay, she's dead. I just wanted to assault my spouse. Can't a woman be herself every once in a while? Oh, he can't lift her? Jesus. Okay. You mean, to be fair, both her and her husband seem like bad people? Yeah, I guess. At least the lady didn't die. I would hate to die from something like this. So it turns out that the juror was the one who did it. Okay. Lord Van Zeeks, what news of Mrs. Jiggly? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events had left her in an especially flustered state. What did her husband do? He's a colonialist, I guess. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There is no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could easily have been a terrible tragedy. What could possibly go wrong if you put the perpetrator of the crime on the jury? You see, that's why juries are bad, right? The jury could have the perpetrator of the crime the whole time and you wouldn't know. This game is just... Maybe Mino feels this way because he played this game. Thoughts? Maybe the reason why Mino hates juries is because he played Ace Attorney. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. In America, you get hit by stray bullets. In London, you get hit by stray knives. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. Yay! That's good. That's good, right? You see now, juries are flawed because Van Zeeks can put his leg on the table and they go with whatever he says. It's strange, we've been talking about the victim all this time, but we've never once met her. How wonderful! The woman's out of danger, it seems. Yes, that is good news. Where have you been? Why? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. You were working! Kaz was working at 11 o'clock. Can you believe it? He was working at 11 o'clock. Okay. I was wondering where he was. Just passing by to say hi. You're doing some house renovations, so you won't be able to stay today for stream. Okay. I hope your renovations go well, Arklin. Hopefully, maybe see you tomorrow. Kaz, go to bed. No. We're gonna play Valheim. If I can stay awake. Why are they all ignoring how she threw that knife purposefully at her husband? That is a different charge, I guess. It's not this case. So he played this game and developed a hatred for juries, but not the judge. And not the prosecution? I mean, come on. So Mr. Soseki Natsume. Hey, he's there. Forgot about him. Yes. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture. You did that once because there was no power during the day, so you worked early morning and night. Oh, I see. It's different though. We've had power all day. He just wanted to work. Imagine wanting to work at midnight. You should have been working in Valheim because we need wood. You need to go and cut some wood. That's what he's doing now. He works all day and then he logs until Valheim and slaves away from me because we need wood. And have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. Ah, yes, and Cookie's here. At midnight, yeah, he was working late. Hi, Cookie. The grind ends, so the grind can begin. You had this lead dev who put out releases at 2 a.m.? That's not okay. You guys should have a rule where you only do them. In fact, I think at the last place I worked at, we didn't do releases after 2 p.m. Just in case anything went wrong, you know? No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. Yes, the best eyebrows. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat. Excuse me. Release or just commits? Yeah, releases. We don't do them after 2 p.m. Cookie, you need to move. Releases at 2 a.m. That's so bad. Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year now since I arrived in Great Britain, but I still can't get used to life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog like they're haunting me. Okay. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has got the better of him. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. Okay. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. If he dies, you're gonna riot. I should have called for help, for a doctor, for the police. Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry. Huh? Since when do you give a shit about that? Okay. I don't have anything to say to that. One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit has been at work here, I think. One that created this chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were befooled by the spirit and led to false conclusions, but thanks to Lord Van Zieks and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken and the spirit exorcised. So it's like, you don't say that in a British court, they'll put you in a mental institution. I know, he's acting crazy. I heartily commend you both. Oh. What do you gotta say, Van Zieks? You wanna say something now? Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I can assure you we've reached a fair and just conclusion. I do declare the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, I didn't expect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sitting in for the old bean while she's out of action, you know, but I know what her decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? They just had him come in. Stretching. So is Van Zieks going to explain why he planted his whole leg on a counter like a cat? I don't know, because it's sexy. Very well, ladies and gentlemen, the jury. Final decisions, please. Mr. Foreman.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
This voice acting.
Not guilty.
Did you see that leg? Yeah, I saw it. Okay, we finished it. Then again, around this time, the husband speaking for the wife in England was probably super common. True. What the fuck? Mason, have you never seen a court case before? This is exactly how it goes. That was just one man doing 4 voices. What the actual fuck? This is how the justice system works. You don't like the proud and noble justice system of the United Kingdom? Santa is telling his children about how a woman almost died and the incompetency of police in the court system. Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty. Confetti! Yay! Confetti! Fireworks! What? They should have confetti in courtrooms. It should be like the ending of TI when all the confetti comes down. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh yes, Lord Sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh yes, sir, of course, on my life. I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to tears. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. Oh man, that was a lot. Okay, time to wind down. 20th of February, 3:17 p.m. The Old Bailey Defendant's Antechamber. Oh, locum! Wait, you mean me? Of course. Is there another locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? And then he writes that poem about how London is the absolute worst. It's true. What's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last! I'm free! I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Heady, hearty, happiness, hurrah! Did he just call me Little Cum? Yeah. I'm Little Cum, and Van Zieks is Big Cum. Oh, I am pleased, Mr. Natsume is delighted. Any locums in chat? Would it be so hard to just say that, then? Locum, you did it! You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault, after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that! Lovely, loyal locum lawyer. Yeah? I mean, as I said before, oops, fuck. What do you say? As I said before, I have just never got used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners, I see towering buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down at me laughing. Look at that little hunchback! Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume. But today, you, locum lawyer, gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind that baronial bench. Cookie? Cookie, no. Did this guy invent dabbing? Cookie, move, please. Oh, you know what? Here, smell some Tiger Balm. You love this, right? You love Tiger Balm. She's running away. You stood firm behind that baronial bench before all those babbling British. And then Soseki Natsume went on to write his most famous work, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You battle to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. Is this guy the ancestor of that laser boy from My Hero Academia? I haven't thought about that guy in a long time. Is he the traitor? He turned out to be the traitor, right? Or something like that. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed. Sorry, that was a spoiler. Behold, the best barrister ever born. This is the cookie repellent. Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. An anecdote? Is that what's to become of all my hard work? Whoa, spoilers? Sorry. And there you are, my dear fellows. This guy is like V from Vendetta, but B instead, yeah. Oh no, I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. I see I'm here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh. The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. B for Vendetta. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? It's you! Herlock Sholmes! Oh, have we met, sir? Does this guy have dementia? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested. Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. Talk about coming late to the party. I simply could not place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes! So everyone just thinks Sholmes is a good detective because the court system is garbage? Yeah, probably. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Had she been taken to the hospital more urgently? I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. You think everyone thinks he's a good detective because a little kid writes good books, but it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind now then. What was it you wanted to say to me, sir? Nothing! Priceless! Oh, I am sorry, really, but... that was quite priceless. Oh my god, what is wrong with him? If the police hadn't rolled her on her back for an entire beat. You think you can keep track of everyone's life I ruin? Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And it would seem... when did Ace Attorney go 3D? This one, I guess, right? This one? Wait, were the old ones 3D? Or is this the first one? And it would seem you were not even found guilty. Since this game, I see. But there is no bright side. 3DS, you think? Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume? Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits and by the Reaper! Ah, Lord Van Zeeks. Oh no! I haven't forgotten, you know what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed! It will be alright, Mr. Natsume. Huh? If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you! You've never seen it in 3D before, wasn't expecting it at all. I think it's alright. It's quite expressive, actually. The two main series games after this were 3D too. Whoa! She threw me! With a perfectly executed Suzato takedown. Okay. Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of warning might be nice next time. It's okay, Natsume, just don't go into any carriages alone. Okay. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan. I think he should just go home. Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh. I would leave too. I wouldn't stay in this cursed country if I were him. It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I've visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it's my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. You better leave, sir. That's very touching, Mr. Natsume. You'd expect it to look worse in 2D, but yeah, it looks great. Yeah, I think so too. I think that it is clearly 3D, but the shaders do a decent amount of work, and what I think they do best is the animation, so... Or perhaps in less veiled terms, You wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terrors of the Reaper's curse. That's not it at all. It is it. The more I learn of literature, the more the strange feeling claws at my insides. He's gonna become a Westaboo. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to... we call them... Anglophiles. 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 Or... I guess he's a banana. I don't like that term though. The eyebrows are definitely more threatening in 3D, true. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. I don't like the term banana, but I think if he turned into an Anglophile, he would be a banana, I guess. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san could be an interesting read. Oh, he's gonna go home and write, okay. Alright, and what about you and whatever? Okay, sorry, what about us? What's a banana in this context? Yellow on the outside and white on the inside. She said sadly, in a sad voice, will you return to Japan alongside your mustached compatriot? Why would we? A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London. And now, only now does it feel as though we have finally found our feet. Yeah, it's an insult that gets used for people like me, I think. And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? Which is funny because my mom says I'm obsessed with Japanese cultures. So am I a banana or am I a weeaboo, right? My mom calls me an Anglophile, but then she also says I'm a weeaboo, so... Or she doesn't say weeaboo, but... everyone has terms for that. For Mexicans, it's white chickens, which isn't very creative. Huh. Is there a Mexican food that's like... Is there a Mexican food that could work? Hey, at least a banana is a bit nicer than what they say about white people who are very much into gangster rap. Which is what? Don't say it if it's a banned term. I've heard the term Oreo, which is a very like insulting term, I think. Yeah. But that's like the opposite, I think. Anyway, let's stop talking about this. Okay. Oh, okay. Don't do that. Shh, be quiet. You've westernized so much that you've circled back around into being a weeb. I mean, I'm not Japanese, so it's the gamer word. No, we're not talking about that. Anyway, that's right. We need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. Stop talking about the N-word. Everybody stop right now. Stop right now. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before an entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you could take my lodgings? Oh, the windowless room. I have a well relaxing windows and more than makes up for with a floor, ceiling, and walls. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit. Oh my, an evil spirit? When Shino has to tell chat to stop. Nope. Oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. We will think about it, if that's okay. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? I don't know about that. Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself, though it is up in the attic, I might add. Sounds like a guest. Like, hi, Halo. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? No windows or anything carbon monoxide poisoning? I think so, right? It's gotta be stuffy as hell in there. I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of? That's why he's going crazy? I think so. Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to take lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I am too overcome for words. So suggesting we look elsewhere is out then. Then it's settled. Okay, Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. I don't want it! And you must come too, Mr. Natsume. I insist. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't know what to say, but thank you and yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork for your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long. Somebody's happy. I'm not. This guy is aware that Susato has a crush on him. Yeah. Locum, yes? I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume, it's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Loken will meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. Nice. You mean he's not related to Iris either? Ooh, yeah. Well, my dear fellow, a carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Everybody stop. Everybody stop that right now. Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I have little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for dinner this evening. Okay, is that the end? And so, with Soseki-san's innocence successfully established, we rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home, 221B, Baker Street. It's okay, Sholmes has the mind of a child. He also has the mind of an 80-year-old because he keeps forgetting. Hey, it's still going. 20th of February, 4:41 p.m., the attic room. So what happened to the domestic abuser? I have no idea. Nothing. Is Sholmes Chuni Holmes? Yes, he is Chuni Holmes. So this. I'm kind of tired. Is this almost over? Is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I rather like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step. But I like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. Ryunosuke, Kazuma's fucking dead. He can't see shit. Persona 5? Wait, what? Huh? Persona 5? Oh, the attic! I'm joking! Are we gonna see Akechi? So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Hey! What happened to the weirdo that we met on the street? Remember we met that VTuber on the street when we were investigating? But he never showed up during the case. So, my dear fellows, do you like the place? Oh! He changed! Yes, thank you so much. It's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good, I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. He changed? Ah, I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. And just like in Persona 5 Akechi's dead, be quiet! Be quiet. Oh no, he's hot monk at us. Those buttons. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. He looks good without the dumb hat, yeah. That weirdo is too weird, you bet he shows up in another case. I think so. The one that committed assault with a deadly weapon on the Japanese guy with the book. Yeah, the Jiggly, Mrs. Jiggly. Iris, you must let me help you. Alright then, Susie, you can be in charge of the salad. Splendid. He's meh. Van Zeeks could get it, no doubt. Naruhodo is just some criminal trash living in an attic. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help wondering what adventures await us. Okay, those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office at these premises. Until I discovered the dark truth about the city of London, that is. Van Zeeks is really hot, but he's also the absolute worst. Fingerless gloves plus pipe is a lot, gotta say. He's just following, general VTuber dress codes. London is a glorious place full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth, but the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. Okay, I read it before it came out. I knew it. Shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. I'm right, he is a VTuber. He's not even the worst one. So once again, Mr. Naruhodo. Welcome to London. Gonna admit you really like fingerless gloves, not even style, they're comfy. I think they look kind of hot, I guess. Stickies into race play? No! What? When's Van Ripper gonna show up? The Jack the Ripper? Oh, okay, of course, at the time. I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke, okay? But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. Okay. Yay! We did it, team! This case took a lot longer because somehow it was more tiring. I think this case was somehow more tiring than the other ones. This one took, I think, the longest. Okay. How about double artist gloves though? I have an artist glove. I think it looks kind of stupid, but it's actually quite good for the iPad. Okay. Is there only one more? There's only one more, right? The Hound of the Baskervilles. Okay. Yay! Oops, where's my hand? Oops. I knocked over my leap motion. Oops. There. You have to switch games in an outer menu. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay. Return to title screen. You mean here? Yeah, why? On anime characters. On anime characters. Be quiet. Cass is like, did you say fingerless gloves are hot? So I need to go get them? Be quiet. Alright, team. Thanks for watching this last case. Do you guys want to finish this game at least? I don't know if we want to go on to the second game or not, but do you want to do the 5th case? You want to do case number 5, or what do you guys want to do tomorrow? Hey, wait, we have raid tomorrow, so maybe either you guys want to do the next case is a lot longer. Of course, we gotta finish it. You plead the 5th. You don't like it, huh? I think I'm getting the feeling that Stick doesn't like this game. It's just a feeling. It's a feeling I'm getting. I have raid tomorrow, so I won't stream. You kind of want to do it, but you kind of don't want to have to deal with Sholmes. I know, I do enjoy the cases, you know, I do enjoy the cases, but there are parts that I don't like. I would still rate this game positively. Aren't we supposed to do 2 hours of something else before the raid anyway? What do you mean? Oh, I'm talking about my Final Fantasy 14 raid. You don't know, you can only show up when you're awake at 8 AM, so you shouldn't get a say. What time is raid tomorrow? Not as enjoyable if you're not there for 100% of that. Yeah, that is true. You are missing large chunks of the story, so I think it makes sense that... hold on. Let's see, 5 to 7. Shino, you got an idea of all these games I've been suggesting. How about you send me links of chat to gameplay of those games so I can decide if I want to play them or not. I mean, sure, you can do that. You'd say finish this one out, then probably don't worry about the second game. Well, I don't have anything planned to play after this either, so I mean, I wouldn't mind... To be honest, I wouldn't mind playing it again at some point, but maybe after a break, because this is a lot of reading, so it's fine. You barely know what's going on in games you play by yourself. You learn to adapt by not knowing anything, sure. What do you guys want to play next? I have a lot of games that we could play. We could do a really boring playthrough, take a break from my voice. I have Persona 4, but that one has a lot of voices. Play something voiced next? What is voiced? What should we play? Looking through my games right now. P4 People Riot, yeah. Is Yakuza voiced? Is Yakuza voiced? Zali, you interested in Yakuza? I'm guessing no, right? Or something without any text. Zali, you don't like Yakuza, right? Yakuza has a lot of text. Okay, maybe not that one then. Play something with no dialogue. Solitaire? Yakuza is Japanese voice, side quest, no voice. Okay, that's a nightmare, actually. That's a nightmare. You do like Yakuza? I could do a test stream, just a bunch of small random games. Yakuza's voice, and I'm obligated to sing along. Okay, fair. Fable? Oh, Fable. Is Fable voiced? I've never played any Fable. I'll say this right now. I've never played any Fable. I've got Fable Anniversary. So... I don't know if that's good to play or not. Is that good to play? Is that fun? Fable's voiced? Is that something you guys would want to watch, or... I've never played it, so... Chicken Chaser, I don't... Is it like Skyrim? Fable, exclamation point. Huh? Zali is expressing excitement? Is that an exclamation point? I almost don't believe what I'm seeing. Hold on, let me lean in closer. Did he actually use an exclamation point? Ask Rue about Fable Tree Lake. I know Rue loves Fable. Most people like Fable for nostalgia. You've never met someone who plays Fable? Really? A lot of people in here like it, apparently. You played the original version 10 plus years ago. You love Fable, so you'd absolutely watch it. It's not like Skyrim at all. It's not? It looked kind of like Skyrim. Is it not like Skyrim? It looked kind of like Skyrim. Is it nothing like Skyrim? It looked like an Elder Scrolls game. Fable is cool. Dingba thinks so too? Okay. Maybe we should go with that then. Dingba doesn't express opinions very often. So, it's nothing like Skyrim. For one, it's fun. Hey! Skyrim is fun. Skyrim is fun. It gets draggy after a while, but it was fun. Fable is a dark comedy. Okay. Why don't we maybe it's fantasy like Skyrim but doesn't work the same. Last time I just talked the whole time and that was nice to do whatever I want. So you're saying don't play a game and just talk? You're forced to play as a white man in Fable though. Oh. Oh no. Just kidding. I don't care. That's fine. Yeah, why don't we pencil that in then? Because I have Fable Anniversary. I think I got it from some kind of bundle. Maybe like the Ukraine bundle or something like that. You can be good or bad. You remember you were a good boy till the end. That sounds like Santoro. Yeah. Whatever gets your noggin jogging. You hated Skyrim. Oh no, we got some Skyrim haters in here. You play as a little boy and then you go through his whole life choosing to live as a hero or a villain. Should we be a villain? Or somewhere in between? I see. Play A Bard's Tale. I want to play games that I own. Unless you guys want to gift them to me. I don't want to spend money on new games right now. It's a black and white morality game. I see. So not very much like Skyrim then. You know all the tricks to get the best weapons? Okay. Sounds like the backseater squad is rolling out. But can you be gay though? Oh yeah, good question. Can you be gay? Can you be gay in Fable? Can you're telling me I can make moral choices. That's all great and all, but can you choose to suck dick? You can? Alright, sold. Yay! Gable! Gable! No, it's kind of no. It's kind of offensive. Oh no. Wrong kind of gay. Not the offensive kind of gay. Bard's Tale is definitely not a new game. It doesn't matter if it's new or not. I don't wanna spend money on games when I have so many games to play already. Yeah. Oh, and by the way, we suspect that either Fable sounds good to you. You lurked a bit when Rue streamed it. Okay, cool. We suspect that the Valve Index headset is broken or the cable is broken. Because as you know, the game has a lot of edgy humor, just so you know. I'll be alright. I'll be okay, I think. We played GTA and that was alright. Men can be gay for you in a homophobic kind of way. No! Isn't the cable replaceable? So yes, the cable is replaceable, but we are not 100% sure whether it is the cable or the headset that is broken. Okay? The cable is $130 and the headset is how much? The headset is $500 and it comes with a cable. So we were thinking maybe just buying the headset because it comes with a cable already. You get what I'm saying? It's out of stock! Well, yeah. How much? Can you use a multimeter to see if it's cable? Did you try that? You've got one, right? Can you explain yourself? I don't know what... Can we send it to someone for repair? Can we borrow a cable? Do you know anyone who has an Index? That's right. So Cass, that's right. We do know someone who has a Valve Index cable, but we also booted him from our raid group. So I don't think we should ask him for any favors. Sweating. Yeah. That's right. No, we can't ask him. That would be terrible. I'm not that kind of person. Yeah, should have thought that one through. Well, what can I say? What's the cable made of? Unicorn farts. That's why it's so rare. Baby steps. 15 bits. Thank you. 15 bits over $500 is how much exactly? Kept them as a cable guy? No. I'm not the kind of person to like, I guess, try to keep a relationship just so that I can use them. To be fair, I didn't want to stop being friends, but it's hard to boot someone from your raid group and not have the relationship suffer, so yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Can you not try a regular USB-C cable? Can you explain? Wait, what? On the Vive, you could just use regular cables. Cass says no. It's a special cable. you feel bad you accidentally still have a neighbor's Pikmin 2 copy 15 years later. I feel that. Yeah, that kind of thing has I don't know if it's happened to me, but or it's happened to someone else who like took my things. I wonder if they still think about it. Like, I don't like still necessarily hold a grudge, but you shall cherish every moment here. Sticky, you want me to raid someone in particular? Are you gonna go watch someone else now, or do you want to help us chop wood? We need to chop a lot of wood. We gotta gather a shit ton of wood for. You have some friends' GameCube controllers. The Vive had a special cable, but it was just a 3-in-1, so you could use regular cables to test since the connectors were standards. Well, the thing that the can you tell him? Are we still going? Okay, we're fucking going there. Let's go. Go, 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 go. Okay. You're going to Valheim after this? Okay. Anyone who wants to help in Valheim? Hey, anybody else want to join our server? Only cool people though. Yeah, that's what Cash says. He has your copy of FFT, so it's cool. Yeah, I see. That sucks? Yeah, it does. So yeah, we're probably gonna try to get a new headset. You don't know what Valheim is? It's fine! It's fine. Okay, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow if I can. Join the Discord if you want to see when the next stream will be. I will post a time when I figure it out. It may not be tomorrow. If it's cool people, you won't be joining. Okay. Good night everyone. Thinking. If not Saturday, then I'll try for Sunday. But guaranteed I'll stream by Monday. How's that? I just can't tell because of my health, but I'll try my best. I'll try my best. Ganbare Shino. Okay, see you guys next time. Thanks for coming back. By that definition, Zali should be in the server either. Hey! Stop it. No fighting or you're all gonna go. Okay, bye.